Shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give double honors. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach HaKodesh. And I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned this truth from. And a shalom to all the hopeful elect and the 144,000 chosen, teaching and declaring this new song to the four corners of the earth and bidding the elect to the bride, to the supper of the bride, the marriage supper. I want to go back in a little bit more on the previous lesson about the Egyptian being turned against the Egyptian. I was listening to a brother's lesson, and he was making some good points. There's a point I want to play by what he is saying, and then I want to go into further into the precepts on. This is actually this power, this unique, peculiar strategy of war is something that is what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai does with the children of Israel. So let me play this really quick and we'll get into it.
Or whoever. Now, if you know anything about the law, the sheriff is the ultimate authority in the county. Okay? So you got a sheriff's department, they're ranked higher than the police. As a matter of fact, the sheriff is actually ranked higher than the judge. Okay? Because he's the law and he's the true law enforcement. But you got all of these other cops out there that are policy enforcers, that enforce the policy of the corporate state, which is the government. They go around thinking that they have true authority to enforce their policies amongst people. Okay, so then there becomes a conflict right there. There becomes a conflict because you have one that's trying to impose their will, and you have another that's trying to impose their will, but they all Edomites. They all a devil. Okay? They're all the devil.
Okay, now hold on. Now I'm gonna back it up to the little argument, the debacle between these guys that he very, very eloquently broke down. Now look at this. Let me back it up. Let me see if I can back it up.
To his video. Okay?
Let me try to back it up.
They're fighting. Okay. Negative.
Sir, you know what's going on in my own city? We would have notified you, sir. We would have? Yeah. Well, hold on. I've been at the city. I've been down there at the PD. Okay, I don't know who the I'm just trying to I don't appreciate all of this going on and nobody notified me. Okay. I'm sorry, what's your name? You want leader. Sir, I am too. You're the public chief like me, sir. That's not going to happen. What? Really? You can get the out of my face. I don't give who you are. I know it's okay. This is my county, too. Back up, man. Back up. No, you don't. This is going to be good. Okay? You need to stop. Chill out. Back up. Everything's going to be okay. But you need to back up. I get it that you're negative. This right here ain't what you're not going to be disrespectful. Okay? Sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir. You have no authority. You're not going to tell me what to do, my you're not going to get my sheriff's face. Just like you told me. Your hands off me. Back up, John. Pull him back. No, he's in the sheriff's face. He's in the same go to jail. Stop. He's getting ready to go to stop. You need to back off. This is our operation. This is our county.
Okay, so it's safe to say that within this group of men of authority, there is also an understanding of rank, and there also has to be a knowledge of who has the highest rank, and it doesn't look like anyone in that crowd is recognizing whoever is the highest rank, so it's all rebellion. And so now with that said, when I was listening to this lesson as the officer was breaking it down, because I'm gonna be honest, I did not know that the sheriff was actually higher than the police. I knew that there was ranks and that there was an order, but I never knew that the actual sheriff was higher up than the actual police, and in some cases or all cases higher than a judge. That's awesome to know. That's powerful, and you see right here, no one's even acknowledging any of that. So when I was listening to this, I began to think of there's a story that I was familiar with when I was a Christian. I heard people teach on it, but reading the story again back as an awakened Hebrew Israelite, learning this truth and completely going back through the Bible in a completely different way with understanding, with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, I found the story that I was looking for. And in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, I read it right now. I highlighted everything. A bunch of precepts began to jump off the pages. It actually had one of those moments where you get a visitation from the Spirit and you get all teary-eyed and snotty-nosed, because it just blew me away when I read this, how now I can think further into the past, into the Old Testament, into our history, and then line up things with what's happening in this chapter, in this recorded portion of history, and I was blown away. So this is a record of, I believe it's Jehoshaphat, and the Israelites, Judah, they're being attacked. They're being teamed up on by Moab, Ammon, and Mount Seir, and we know that Mount Seir is Edom, or the Edomites. So I'm going to read and then break down this stuff a little bit, and then go and then we'll be done. So this is Second Chronicles chapter 20, verse 1. It came to pass after this also that the children of Moab, that would be your modern day Chinese, and the children of Ammon, Ammonites, I believe are Japanese or the Hindu Indians. I'm not all the way sure on that, so Salakia for that. And with them, others besides the Ammonites came against Jehoshaphat in battle. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, There cometh a great multitude against thee from beyond the sea on the side of Syria. And behold, they be in Hazazon Tamar, which is in Gedi. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek Yahweh, and proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah. And Judah gathered themselves together to ask help of Yahweh, even out of all the cities of Judah. They came to seek Yahweh. So they get a warning that there's trouble that's coming. And just like we're hearing now, with what we've been reading in Jacob's troubles coming, 2/3 are going to be purged, and the hopeful elect is going to hope and get through this trying time. Most of us as pure gold. Some of us will die as martyrs, and most of us will get the rest of us will get beamed up. But it's like we know that the problems are coming. So read further. So this is verse 5. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of Yahweh, wherefore he knew before the new court, and said, O Yahweh, power of our fathers, art not thou the power in heaven, and rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thine hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Verse 7, art not thou our power, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham thy friend forever? And they dwelt therein, and have built thee a sanctuary therein for thy name's sake. And that was actually King Solomon who did that. And if when evil cometh, now this is key right here. This is look at the instruction he follows. If when evil cometh upon us, as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and knowing the correct name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, is absolute paramount, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear. What is he quoting right here in 2 Chronicles 20, verse 9? He is quoting right here. I believe it's 1 Kings 8, when King Solomon dedicates the temple. Yep. And King Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes and chief of the fathers of the children of Israel unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of Yahweh out of the city of David, which is in Zion. And if you read, and all the men of Israel assembled, verse 2, themselves unto King Solomon at the feast in the Mount Ethanim, which is the 7th month, and all the elders of Israel came, and priests took up the ark. Now let's fast forward down. So he's dedicating the temple. Verse 12. Then spake Solomon, Yahweh said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. I have surely built thee an house to dwell in, a settled place for thee to abide in forever. So let me Salakia. So he's quoting, he's remembering what that Yahweh said to his father. He's repeating all of that. And Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of all the congregation of Israel. This is verse 22. And spread forth his hands toward heaven. So this is why we raise our hands and face the east and cry out to the name Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakodash. That's why we say that. It comes from here. And verse 23, and he said, Yahweh, power of Yasharallah, there is no God like thee in heaven above or on earth beneath, who keepest covenant and mercy with thy servants that walk before thee with all their heart. Now he says a long prayer, and for time's sake I'm skipping through it, but I want to try to find a part where he says what King Jehoshaphat quoted. Okay, so verse 29, that thine eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even toward this place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there. See, the importance of his name in the temple, on his people, and in our lips when we pray. My name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make toward this place. In verse 30, and hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people, Yasharallah, when they shall pray toward this place, and hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and when thou fearest, forgive, if any man trespass against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause him to swear, and the oath come before thine altar in his house, then hear thou in heaven, and do and judge thy servant, condemning the wicked to bring his way upon his head, and justify the righteous, to give him according to his righteousness, when thy people Israel be smitten. Now this is what was going on with Jehoshaphat, and we're going to go back to that. When thy people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn again to thee, and confess thy name, and pray, there goes his name mentioned again, and make supplication unto thee in this house, then hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sin of thy people Israel, and bring them again unto the land which thou gavest unto their fathers, when heaven is shut up. So this is what's happening, right? So look at verse 36. Then hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sin of thy servants and of thy people Israel, that thou teach them the good way wherein they should walk, and give rain upon. So here we are learning how to operate back in our heritage, right? And here you see it right here in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, when King Jehoshaphat is praying, he's literally praying the very prayer that King Solomon prayed. And Yahweh answers his prayer, not just because he prayed it, but because King Solomon prayed that if this were to happen, and we pray like this to answer our prayer. You need to see how the generations connect here. Not only do the precepts connect, and not only do the prayers connect, but this is a generational, this is a bloodline seed situation that King Solomon, who is Yahweh Shai, was offering up this prayer specific to a situation like this. And here comes 2 Chronicles 20, and here comes the situation, and this king is following the instruction of his forefathers on the right-hand side, and look at the result that he gets. So we're going to read verse 8 and go down. And they dwelt therein, and have built thee a sanctuary therein for thy namesake. We just read that in 1 Kings chapter 8. If when evil cometh upon us, as a sword, judgment, and pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear and help. Verse 10, and now behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir. So there were 3 different nations gathered to come against Judah and Jerusalem, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade when they came up out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. Behold, I say how they reward us to come to cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. O our power, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that cometh against us, neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. And all Judah stood before the Lord Yahweh with their little ones, their wives, and their children. Now look at this next couple of verses, and we're going to be done. Then upon Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jael, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, came the Spirit of Yahweh in the midst of the congregation, and he said, Hearken ye all Judah and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat, thus saith Yahweh unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude. For the battle is not yours, but the power of the Most High's. Tomorrow go. Now this is the instruction. Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz. Look at the specific instructions that they now know where to go against, or how to move against this people that's moving against them. And ye shall find them at the end of the brook before the wilderness of Jeruel. I don't know if many of us understand how intense this is. The specific instructions that Yahweh is speaking to us through the prophet. Literally exactly how to move and when to move. Ye shall, verse 17, ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of Yahweh with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for Yahweh will be with you. And Jehoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before Yahweh, worshiping Yahweh. And the Levites of the children of the Kohathites and of the children of the Korites stood up to praise Yahweh, the power of Yasharallah, with a loud voice on high. Now look at this. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in Yahweh your power, so shall ye be established. And this is the kicker. Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper. The blessing and the salvation and the deliverance that comes from listening to the elect men of Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, the elect men of Israel, is so key in this. And when he had consulted with his people, he appointed singers unto Yahweh, and that should praise the beauty of holiness, as they went out before the army, and to say, Praise ye Yahweh, for his mercy endureth forever. When I was reading this, there is a precept where Yahweh Shai says, learn of me. Take my yoke upon and learn of me. Okay, so this right here, take my yoke. This is Yahweh Shai, okay? Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest to your souls. Now look at this. You go into the blue letter. Let's see what that was. Matthew 11:20. So Matthew 11:20, 29. Yeah. So you already have this. This is a couple weeks back when I read this, and it blew my mind. Look at the interlinear, and look what it says. Is it learn? I think it was learn. Learn of me. Nope, it wasn't learn. It was learn of me, and for meek I am lowly. I think it was lowly. There was a precept. There was a definition in one of these words. You shall find rest to you. So it was take, meek, learn, and was it take? Salakia. From the ground, take stone, rise up, elevate, draw up, move from its place, take off or away. There was a word in one of these words that had to do with separation, and it freaked me out. I was like, oh my gosh, it's talking about Yahweh Shai and how he is separated, not just unto Yahweh, but from the nations. And when I read that, I was like, yoke that is put on or drop use of a burden, troublesome laws imposed, transferred. I'm probably in the wrong book. upon you. And it was a word that didn't look, yeah, I'm not finding it. It was a word that didn't look like it would translate into that. So take upon you and learn. I thought it was learn. Yeah, I'm not finding it. Salakia, man. Okay, of local separation. That's it. Of separation. That was it. So look at this. So let me step out of this again. All right. So the precept says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest for your souls, unto your souls, right? Okay, cool. When you, I think it was right here. I just lost it again. Yeah, I see I lost it. Learn. Hold on real quick. Okay, I'm back. So it's of. So that word of doesn't look like anything significant, right? Take of me and learn of me. Learn of me. But when you go into the blue letter, this is what it says. Of separation. Of local separation. Of separation of apart from a whole. Whereof a whole, some part is taken. So of any kind of separation of one thing from another, by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed. When I read this, I was like, okay, he separated unto Yahweh, because on the high priest's garment, it says that. I believe if it's not on his forehead, it's on his shoulders. Holiness unto Yahweh, right? He is set apart for Yahweh, but he's also separated from the nations. And when I read it, I was like, dude, everything he does is only specific for us and only specific to the elect. So it's super what's the word I'm looking for? Exclusive. I'm saying that to say this, to get back to Second Chronicles 20, to worship the beauty of holiness in a deeper understanding is to worship Yahweh, because he is the beauty of holiness. It's him. So let's go back. Hold on. I'm going, and then the result is the enemies destroying themselves. I apologize for such a slow moving, because when I was reading all this, it was jumping out of me. I was like, oh my God. So when we worship, let's get back to okay. And when he had consulted, verse 21, and when he had consulted with the people, he appointed singers unto Yahweh. So the singers are important, okay? Because plus Judah means praise, right? And that should praise the beauty of holiness as they went out before the army, and to say praise Yahweh, for his mercy endureth forever. The other thing too, right here was so remember how when he was quoting the covenant that he made, that Yahweh made with Abraham and his seed. Well, who was Abraham's first seed? Was Isaac. We know that Isaac was Yahweh, and then Jacob, right? We also know that King Dawidah is a man after Yahweh's heart, and that the Most High, Yahweh, makes a covenant with David so that his son will rule on the throne forever. And we know that son is King Solomon, and that King Solomon is Yahweh, right? And what is the Most High? What does Yahweh say about Yahweh? When he's King David, he shall be my son. He shall be my son. Boom. 2 Samuel. So look, 2 Samuel 7:14 through 16. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. And we know that happened to him when he came back as Yahweh. But this right here is the kicker. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh. But my mercy shall not depart away from him. Who's the him? It's talking about King Dawidah. I mean, King Solomon, right? The son of Dawidah. Who is who? Yahushai. My mercy shall not depart away from Yahushai, as I took it from Saul. And then you see as Adam, remember when he was Adam and Eve sinned and he sinned, listening to her? What did Yahweh do? What did the voice of the Lord do? What did the Elohim or the prophets in the Garden of Eden do? They made coats of skin for only who? Adam and Eve. The beasts of the field didn't get coats of skin, and the serpent didn't get coats of skin. Only Yahushai and his wife got coats of skin, right? There's a type and shadow of mercy for Yahushai as Adam, and the one that he's connected to or in covenant with, which is his bride, which is the elect. And then you see the same specificness with King Solomon. Okay, now within Yahushai, that he's the only way we're going to get mercy. Come back to this. And when he had consulted with people, he appointed singers unto Yahweh, and that they should praise the beauty of holiness. So we are exalting Yahushai within or before Yahweh. We are kissing the Son, and that's how we are even able to even approach Yahweh. Right? So praise Yahweh for his mercy endure forever. But his mercy goes to Yahushai first, because Yahushai is the firstborn, just like everything goes to Yahushai first. And then we get mercy through Yahushai. Can you guys see that? Now, I'm trying to lay all that. I apologize for all that long, clumsy foundation, because I was like, I'm either going to chew on this and sit on it and then probably forget it, or I'm going to do it right now clumsy. Let me just do it now clumsy. Now look at the next 3 verses. I said all of that for these next 3 verses, because we're going to have to look at this coming into Jacob's trouble. Verses 22, 23, 24. And when they began to sing and to praise Yahweh, why Yahushai? As they began to praise, Yahweh set ambushments against the children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir. How? Which were come against Judah, and they were smitten. How? For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir. Something happened when all 3 of these nations were in battlement mode, were moving toward Judah and Jerusalem. Something took place where Ammon and Moab just ended up teaming up against Mount Seir. Something happened. Somebody got in an argument. Somebody said something. Somebody owed somebody something. Somebody remembered. Something happened where something happened with somebody in Ammon or Moab. And then there was a push and a shove and a comment. Then someone else jumped in that was close to that guy from Moab maybe. So however it started, it got to the point where Ammon and Moab completely obliterated Mount Seir. They eliminated Esau, you guys, not like extincted him, but got him out the way. And then the minute they were done with that battle, look what it says. For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the children of Mount Seir. They were all just in the previous verse coming against Judah, utterly to slay and to destroy them. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, everyone helped to destroy another. What does that line mean? Ammon and Moab completely ate each other up. They ate themselves up. So 2/3 of this group ate up 1/3, and then the remaining 2/3 completely freaked out on each other and killed themselves in battle. And when Judah came toward the watchtower, what is the watchtower? What is the watchtower? Look at this. The name of Yahweh, the name of the Lord, the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is a strong tower. The righteous runneth in it and is safe. This is your Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. This is your new song. This is prophecy. This is the 100% truth, the correct doctrine. This is understanding prophecy, because if you go into, they looked, and when Judah came toward the watchtower, go into the interlinear, look what it says. Look what it says. Come on. Oh, wow, this is tripping. What the fuck? interlinear. Oh, Blue Letter is tripping. Okay, cool. And when Judah came toward the watchtower, look what watchtower says. Watchtower, a lookout point. What's a lookout point? To watch, like a prophet on the wall, a watchman. Vision. What's the vision? The vision's prophecy. To see ahead of time, to know what's happening, to say ahead of time, to speak before. That's the vision. That's the seer seeing. Boom. So, and when Judah came toward the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked unto the multitude, and behold, they were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. And that's what we are doing. We are in the watchtower. We are in his name. We are his temple, in his temple, and we are in the prophecies. We are respecting and heeding the prophets, right, as the instructions said to do, and we're following the instructions of our forefathers that were in their elect position, and we're crying out to Yahweh. We're raising our names up, our hands up to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? And this is what's going to happen to our enemies. Verses 22, 23, and 24. And this is what it's going to look like, but it's going to be way worse than this.
Understand? Oh, yeah. Tell me what to do, my you're not going to get my share of space. Just like you told me. Your hands off me, man. Back up, John. Pull him back.
It's going to be way worse than this. And we're going to be trusting in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to be watching in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and we're going to be praising and fasting in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, so that this happens to our enemies.
Back up, man. Back up. No, you don't. This is like, good. Okay? You need to stop. Chill out. Back up. Everything's going to be okay. But you need to back up. I get it. You're negative. This right here ain't what you're not going to be successful. Okay? The sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir. You have no authority. You're not going to tell me what to do, you're not going to get my share of space. Just like you told me. Your hands off me, man. Back up, John. Pull him back. No, he's in the sheriff's face. He's in the same go to jail. Stop. He's converted. Stop. You need to back off. This is our operation. This is right now. Understand?
And that's all this right here. However the argument starts, however the war starts, however the murdering or the killing starts between these fuckers, we don't care. All we know is that we're calling upon the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're praising the beautiness of holiness. We're exalting the law, statute, commandments the best that we can, and we're trusting and hope in the blood of Yahweh Shai for the mercy where we do fall short at, and we're calling him back to be on the throne of Dawah, you guys, and in operating in the instruction of our forefathers and these laws, statutes, commandments, following the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, heeding the prophets. When we cry out to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, this is the result. I apologize for the clumsiness of this deliverance because I'm still getting this refined in me, but you seasoned brothers see what I am trying to say, and I know that you guys can hear what I'm trying to say. I pray that this lesson was edifying, and with that I want to say I want to give double honor. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakakadash, and I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopefully elect and 144,000 chosen, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth and bidding the remainder of the elect to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Shalom.